My name is Charlie McGrath. I'm the founder of WideAwakeNews.com and a host on the Rinse Radio Network. It's official. It's going to be the U.S. arming Al Qaeda inside of Syria. A no-fly zone, a 25-mile buffer zone, they're calling it now, inside of Syria, where no operations by the Syrian Air Force or Syrian military or the Assad government or anybody that's deemed to be a belligerent actor or somebody acting against the rebel force inside of Syria, the Western-backed rebel force, will be able to operate aircraft. Now, if we think for 1 second that this no-fly zone is as far as this is going to go, we need to wake the hell up and realize what's happening in our names around this world. The 25-mile buffer zone, that is if Russia doesn't decide to send S-300 surface-to-air missiles to the Assad regime, which has a range of 93 miles and from 10 feet to 88,000 feet in the air, certainly capable of harming our men and women flying our aircraft. This is complete and utter insanity. We are falling for the same lies that we have over and over and over again. It is time to wake up and say enough to this tyrannical force that is dominating our government. And it doesn't matter if it's Obama, it doesn't matter if it's Bush, it doesn't matter if it's red or blue. It matters that there is a dominant evil force that is controlling the leadership of this country and controlling this country and this planet. We need to wake up and realize it isn't a constitutional republic. Why on God's green earth are we involved in yet another lie with weapons of mass destruction being the cause of our treasure, our blood, our men, our women destabilizing yet another country in the Middle East and in North Africa? We need to wake up and realize this. We need to realize this. It isn't important what's going on with pop culture infotainment. It isn't important who's dancing with the stars. It isn't important who Tebow is signed with. Our future is being destroyed by a bunch of criminals, and they're selling it to us softer and softer with this same continuous lie. And it makes me absolutely enraged that my fellow Americans don't see through this. We don't see through this lie. We don't see through the same game happening over and over again as we get poorer and they get richer, as we become nothing more than meat for the grinder, and they become even more influential and more powerful because they secure more regions of the world for their natural resources. They can secure their power base around the world. We don't see this. We need to wake up. April 2013, just a few months ago, Abu Muhammad al-Ja'ani, the head of al-Nusra, the leadership of al-Nusra, pledged undying commitment to Sheikh Ayman al-Zawahiri. Who's that? He's the replacement for Osama bin Laden and al-Qaeda. On that same exact day, actually during the same event, a statement was issued by al-Qaeda pledging support for al-Nusra. According to Sheikh Omar Bakri, a Lebanese sheikh that is a member of al-Qaeda, they have been supporting al-Nusra for some time. Technical support, military support, financial support, networking support inside of Syria. These Syrian rebels that we're about to provide a no-fly zone and all kinds of training for and all kinds of hardware that you, America, get to pay for and have paid for, and the training and the advisors and the Air Force pilots and the Navy pilots are going to fly into harm's way facing S-300 missiles that you got to train and pay for, these American men and women. We get to shed the blood. We get to shed the treasure. Who is who are these pledges being and these showers of accolades between these Middle Easterners? Who is al-Nusra that they're talking about? This is the main revolutionary force inside of Syria that backs al-Qaeda, is al-Qaeda. These are the folks we're about to set up. These are the folks we're about to help. Again, we did it in Libya. We did it in Iraq. We're doing it in Afghanistan still. Understand, thousands and thousands of American lives have been lost. Blood dumped into the sand. And we've been doing it for 20 plus years. all the way back to Papa Bush. We've been doing this thing for over 2 decades. We've been fighting a war that we can't win and against an enemy that we can continuously manufacture and set up just so we can turn around and fight them once again. Do we know this is true? Do we know that these facts are accurate? We better believe them. We better believe them. We better wake up and realize what's going on. David Endors, a reporter, recently spent a month inside of Syria. Every single battlefront he went to, didn't matter if he went north, east, south, or west, if he was inside of Syria and he was at a battlefront, there was al-Nusra leading the charge. We hear about it in the mainstream media here as an afterthought, a footnote. Yeah, there's a little bit of al-Qaeda presence there. No, al-Qaeda's running the show. We're setting them up. Now, if you believe that al-Qaeda, as we're all supposed to believe, is this enemy that is coming to steal your freedom, coming to set up Islamic law in the United States, coming to steal your rights, if you believe that al-Qaeda is the #1 threat to the American individual right now, then you better be outraged right now. If you're like me and a lot of folks who have decided to shake the halls of reality, have decided to throw out the propaganda by the mainstream in Washington, D.C., we realize it is exactly what it looks like. The U.S., the West, setting up enemies so they can continue to dominate, to spread and build their military-industrial complex and their power base around this world. So, what is the watchdogs of government saying in response to yet another war for yet the exact same reason that will lead to the exact same outcome? Americans dying in Syria, Americans dying in Iraq, Americans dying in Afghanistan, and Americans dying in black op operations all around this planet that we don't even get to hear about. What is the watchdog of governments? And I'm talking about the establishment media. CNN, Syria crossed the red line. Fox News, Syria used chemical weapons. NBC News. These are all headlines right off their website. Assad regime has used chemical weapons. CBS, Syria used chemical weapons. MSNBC is the only one that ran something that didn't immediately tie Syria to chemical weapons, and that is Obama decides to arm Syria. But the first sentence in the first paragraph, Obama administration confirms that Syria has used chemical weapons. Reading these headlines by all these major establishment media, you would think that they just set off a big chemical weapon in the middle of downtown Israel. Just like we've been warned was going to happen. These attacks that are going to come all around the world from Syria and the Assad regime. Nope. They're referring back to intelligence reports gathered by our intelligence agencies, same ones that are spying on you and watching this video and watching everybody who watches this video and then watching all the emails of everybody who watches video and send it to somebody and then watching the emails of the people they send it to because there's 6 degrees of separation between everybody on this planet. This same intelligence agency that told us there was WMDs in Iraq, this same intelligence agency that is telling us that we need to be afraid of every shadow on this planet because it's got a terrorist behind it, they've confirmed that there's chemical weapons and they've been used by Assad. So here we go. Here we go again. Blood and treasure, hard-earned, easily spent by these cowardice, treasonous, so-called leaders and the people that truly they represent. They have no problem spending our blood and our treasure. We need to wake up and realize what's happening, America. It is to the point that something has got to give. We can't invade the world, dominate the world, and not expect major blowback. Stories are attached. That's what I got.